Welcome to the Sports Roundtable. I'm Tom Lamont, your host, and week one of conference play in the Mid-Eastern Conference is over. All the scores are in the books, and we've got all of our coaches here to talk about it. High school football moving right along here in New Hanover County. Again, this is the game that started out the conference play for the New Hanover Wildcats, and Coach Earl Smith is joining us. And Coach, 50-0 over South Brunswick. Everything was working for the Wildcats on Friday night.
Yeah, we were, concerned going into the game about some complacency. We had a week off, but real pleased. We started out a little sluggish, but the guys did what they had to, and our defense, pretty much they had one first down the whole first half against our first defense, and we got it to a point where it was a running clock right before the half, so there was a running clock second half, and really got to get our younger guys in there and a lot of playing time, which was really good.
Well, let's take a look at the highlights for the Wildcats as the Wildcats again victorious 50-0, and here we go.
Yeah, first run here, junior Megan Canty, who picks up nice first down, and Wiz Vaughn continues to be consistent each week. Here's a nice run, picking up a huge chunk, getting us a first down. This led to our first score, and then actually here it is, a 50-yard run by Wiz on our sweep.
Nice cutback there.
He's special.
149 yards total rushing.
Total, yes. And again, that's just the half. Defense continued to play well. We did, we knew that they were going to throw some different things at us, and our defense handled it very well. Like I said, Troy McCaskill turns his sweep in here, does a great job. Blake continues to have had a good night, no interceptions. By the half, he was over 200 yards passing. Had a couple nice scrambles for first downs also, and here he connects with Cole Tanner. Just a great concentration by Cole and converts. Senior Grant Daly continues to play lights out. Here he makes a solo tackle against their sweep. Nas Brown, our other senior linebacker, and Chris Taylor here on the right side. Excuse me, yeah, this side over here. Nas comes in from behind, Chris closes. And this is a great effort here by Chris to trip at the last second. It's just super effort. Continues right here to play, trips the guy for a sack. And I think this next play, yeah, again, great job there by Josh Anderson breaking up a little flat route, which made him punt. Here Blake throws a nice slant to junior Jalen Gore, and I believe that's probably the last score other than our punt return. This is our sophomore running back, Jabez Howard, on a screenplay. He continues. He's pretty much averaging close to 100 yards rushing a game. Again, Nas and Troy Caskell on the tackle there. And we continue to improve on our kicking game. We returned the kickoff 2 weeks ago against Garner for a touchdown, and here Francis Meehan takes the punt return. This is right before the half, puts us up 47-0. Guys did a really good job downfield, not clipping. So many times they get so overexcited and will hit somebody in the back. But we had a punt return, kickoff return, like I said, 2 weeks ago, and then Wesley Gaines, our kicker, kicked the second half. We came out and pretty much started our first unit, and then we pulled those guys by halfway through the drive and went down, and Wesley Gaines kicked a 41-yard field goal, kind of closed out the night, made it 50-0.
Let's talk first of all, Coach, about your defense. It definitely controlled the line of scrimmage on all those running plays. You were right there making the stop. So defensively, a great night for the Wildcats.
Yeah.
No scoring at all for the opponent in South Brunswick. Again, great job.
Thank you.
Let's talk also about Blake. Your quarterback, Blake Walston, 4 TD passes, 206 yards in the air. Great job in leadership at the quarterback position. Where do you think he is as we continue getting into conference play?
Well, he keeps getting better and better. He's staying in the pocket as long as he possibly can, and that just takes that valued leadership and experience that he has over the past 2 years. And when he does scramble, the thing about it is he's pretty quick, and like I said, on 2 of those runs he actually picked up first down. So he just continues to improve, and he spreads it out. He hits the open man, and that's it's hard sometimes when you got a guy like Wiz not to want to get it to him every time, but he spreads it out.
Good night for Cole Turner, 2 TD pass receptions, but as you said, Blake was able to pass the ball to several receivers.
Absolutely, and our offensive line continues to improve. We've got 2 young offensive tackles who just are getting better and better every week, and just got to keep it going. We came out injury-free, which is another good thing, so hopefully we'll just keep it going.
A lot of times teams struggle with special teams early in the season. So far, the Wildcats have played really well with your special teams. Again, another touchdown, a 65-yard punt return, as we talked about with Francis. And again, you've got to be pleased with special teams so far.
Yeah, we are. We're probably the weakest thing is, and I keep telling them they have to understand, like, we kicked the ball, we kicked off 8 times, and that's 8 plays. And we're having some breakdowns on that, and we're spending time in practice. You know, Wesley's getting a little deeper. He's getting close to putting it in the end zone, but sometimes when you put it to the 5, you're out kicking your coverage. And so we're doing some different things, but, you know, kicking off 8 times is a good thing.
Up next for the Wildcats is a home game against Topsail. What does Topsail bring to the challenge for the Cats?
Know, Coach Wayne Inman, he's been coached about as long as I have, and he does a good job with fundamentals with those guys, and I'm sure they'll have a good game plan. They have got one of the best running backs in the area. Of course, you know, this past week, Hoggard shut him down and did a really good job against him, and you know that's what we're going to try to do, and hopefully we score points like we do.
Coach, congratulations! You're off to a 5-0 start, 1-0. Great start for the Mid-Eastern Conference. So good luck to you as you take on Topsail.
Thank you, Tom.
All right, Earl Smith, the head coach of the New Hanover Wildcats, will be back with more of the Sports Roundtable right after this. Welcome back to the Sports Roundtable. I'm Tom Lamont, your host, and going into this week, the Hoggard Vikings come in undefeated. They take on another undefeated team, Topsail. But at the end of the night, it was all Vikings. I tell you, you know, Craig Underwood, head coach of the Hoggard Vikings, joins us now. And coach, from all phases, offensively, defensively, your Vikings dominated.
I'd say I was really proud. You know, we put the game plan together, but the kids just took it and executed it on both sides of the ball and in special teams as well. We had some big plays there. So a lot of guys stepping up.
We got a lot of footage to look at. Let's take a look at the highlights.
Yeah, it was, like I said, it was a complete game effort. So starting with some offensive highlights. This is Josh Jones and Trey Hauser. Josh and Trey both had a big night, but great protection from the offensive line there. And then Trey battling, finishing his way in. This is Trey on the next possession with another big catch. And yards after the catch. So really proud of him as a senior. He's really taking leadership of that group. Over to the defensive side of the ball, really challenged our guys to swarm and game tackle. That's Isaiah Kemp coming up with a big play. Number 4 for them was a speedster, a good player. This is Josh to Chris Tootle. You know, he's continuing to grow and develop as a receiver, and great size and speed. He's a weapon for us. This is Landon Romano just coming clean on a pass rush on the defensive side of the ball. He had a big night. We really told him he had to have a big physical night, and he sure answered that challenge. Kind of name of the week, here's Trey Hauser again. This is Trey on a kick return. Just really getting great blocks from inside there, and then taking it and getting it all the way to the 50-yard line. So you're setting us up, good field position. This is Anthony Schiavone. This was the first drive of the third quarter. So that kick return and then this play, basically 2 plays and almost 100 yards of offense. So really proud of their execution. Again, defense swarming. We're able to work a lot of guys throughout the game, just building depth there. The guys, Cameron Kite, the linebacker, had a big night. That was Landon Romano again. Guys stepping up. Here's Kenneth Marshall at tailback. You know, Lloyd Giroux, our starting running back, has been hurt in the last 2 games, and Kenneth Marshall and John Bennett behind that O-line stepped up. Will Morton winning some field position with special teams here, just flipping the field. You know, that's a huge part of our game. We put a lot of emphasis on the kicking game, so you got to. Senior captain Reese Moulton, you know, you don't find a player that works much harder than Reese does. And great read on the ball there, getting an interception. Here's Christian Holler. This is a couple plays actually back from the first quarter. We got a little out of order here, but this is Christian Holler, our Mike linebacker. Great zone drop there and just read the quarterback. Big time interception. Had a questionable flag on it, so he didn't end up getting credit, but I thought it was worth putting in the highlights for him. He had a big night. He's really stepped up leadership-wise, a lot of physical play. Topsail, Coach Edmond and their run game, I give a lot of credit. A lot of headaches getting ready for them this week. And this is our defense just responding. Again, gang tackling. Mackenzie Frazier, Daniel Eason, Brooks Carey, that whole D-line. And again, the linebacking core. You can see our safeties and corners getting in on this one. It's just a lot of hats to the football, which we preach. And then just we challenged the guys to really set the tone in the first quarter, and I thought Christian did that with this hit right here on the tailback. Again, guys are just excited to play the game. Love that. You can see, I mean, he's just an inside out and just great fit right there on the tailback. So
yeah, Coach, you really started early too. You stopped in that first possession for Topsail, 3 and out, and then 4 consecutive times when you had the football, you scored TDs, so you jumped on them early.
That's it, and again, they've got a run game that's been averaging over 200 yards a game, and we held them to well under 100 yards, so just really proud of the defensive effort, the offensive execution, and then special teams just helping us with the field position.
Quarterback Josh Jones, 11 for 16, 203 yards, and a pair of TDs. A great night for him.
He's special. He really is. He works incredibly hard. He's a student of the game. He's one of our hardest lifters in the weight room, so he's that example. I just can't say enough about him. I look forward to seeing him play at the next level.
Also, your running game, a good night. John Bennett, 15 carries, 73 yards. Kenneth Marshall, 10 carries, 63 yards. Got to be pleased with the offensive line.
So proud, but that's it. That's a lot of credit to the offensive line. That's 2 running backs that it's their first year playing running back, so they're still learning the position, and just the O-line really. Coach Locklear does a good job with those guys. Mason McKeithen and Donovan Simmons, 2 seniors that really anchor it for us, but. I mean, I'll tell you, we've got a sophomore, Bill Moore, who, I mean, he's just playing lights out right now, so really proud of those guys.
You talked a little bit about your special teams doing well. A lot of times early in the season, special teams is a little iffy, but so far for the Vikings, you've had some good special team work.
Jeremiah Kim is kicking touchbacks on the kickoff, and that's huge, you know, just to eliminate the possibility of any big returns. We blocked a punt in almost every game so far, so trying to continue with that aspect. And then our punt team, like I said, winning field position. We've hit a couple big field goals. So again, that's a credit to Coach Locklear, who's our special teams coach and does our offensive line. He does a great job.
Coach, you're off to a 5-0 start, 1-0 in the Mid-Eastern, but already in the season, it's early for a crosstown rival battle. So up next for you is a home game against the Laney Buccaneers.
I'll tell you, it's Hogger-Laney game's a special one to be a part of. I've been lucky, Coach Yeoman and myself have been lucky to be a part of it as coaches and players, and it's you know, you can throw records out and any, you know, in the past out. It's going to be a brawl, and you know, I'm excited about it. Physical matchup.
Coach, congratulations on your win against Topsail, 41-0. Good luck against the Laney Buccaneers.
Thank you.
Again, Coach Craig Underwood, the head coach of the Hoggard Vikings. We'll be back with more of the Sports Roundtable right now. You are watching the Sports Roundtable. I'm Tom Lamont, your host, and we'll continue our discussions on high school football. Week 1 of the Mid-Eastern Conference play, and of course you want to get off to a good start, and the Laney Buccaneers certainly did that in their opener in the conference with a 50-0 win over North Brunswick. Coach, congratulations on that conference win, getting off to a great start for the Bucks.
Yes, sir. Thank you. It was a great start. You know, coming off of bye week, you know, gave us an opportunity to really focus in on some of the things that we need to get taken care of. Special teams wise, obviously, you're going to watch on the highlights that we did really well on special teams, getting some turnovers there, allowing our offense to, you know, take over the ball quite a bit and control time of possession. So that was huge for us. And then defensively, you know, getting the shutout, first time of the season, you know, shutting the team out, you know, that's a great effort from those guys.
It's going to build a lot of confidence for the Bucks. Let's get to those highlights right away, and let's see what happened in that first conference game.
So we're starting out here. This is the first drive. Thomas Bradshaw, one of our more experienced linebackers. I think he's the only one that's returning from the linebacker position, coming up with a big stop. But Kim Watkins finishes that tackle off, and again, just checking in. This is a great tackle by Arion Smith. He's, you know, coming a long way. We still got a lot of work to do with some different things, but, you know, I'm proud of the effort that he's given there. And then there's Kim Watkins again with a huge block. and Cameron Clark coming up with a huge touchdown for the Bucks. And then there's Corbett Beaumont throwing it to Thomas Brasher. Again, something we worked on during the bye and giving us the time to work on some different things with our special teams. And then our kicker there, Daffer, comes up with that ball, slapping it away, and Kazia Ferguson was the one who actually recovered it. But another huge block there by Arion Smith. Again, he was a huge special teams player for us last year. We're calling on him to do quite a bit now on the defensive side of the ball, so proud of the effort that he's given. And that was another big tackle by Thomas Brasher. Flowing inside out, sometimes you worry about your linebackers overflowing things, but did a great job there. And Kim Wan did a great job of baiting that quarterback on that throw. He was late throwing it. You don't throw it late across the middle, but he threw it late outside, and Kim Wan kind of baited him into throwing that. And then it's a huge play by Jeremiah Ennis, and it's getting cleaned up there by Thomas Brasher. And there's 3 seniors on our special teams, Carl Lane, Kenwan Watkins, and Thomas Brasher coming up with a huge stop. They tried to go for a fake there, and we ended up getting off the field. Great catch by Al Fahim setting up Jason Billingsley for a nice little play. We ended up scoring there, and then we get another onside kick there. Kazia Ferguson, again, coming up with a huge turnover for us, giving us the ball. And then there's our tailback, Jason Billingsley, doing an awesome job. Nice little high step there, getting out of bounds, getting that ball on his outside arm and making that stiff arm, giving himself an opportunity to kind of possibly break a tackle. And then there he is finishing it off. And that's a testament to the offensive line. Him not getting touched, basically he's in the end zone. And then there's Carl Lane coming up with a huge stop for us there. There's our quarterback, Jacob Jones. Not quite the way we drew it up, with our sprint course, but he saw something and made a huge play. And then there's Tyron Jones coming with a huge sack. They ended up coming up with a little trick formation that we weren't prepared for, but Arion Smith is in position to make a play, and a great job by him. And then this is the last play of the game, or the last touchdown of the game, where a quarterback basically throws it to our player, and there's the Tyrese Bloodworth coming up with a huge touchdown. He was limping all game, but he stuck it out, man, because we had some depth concerns, and there he is coming up with a huge play for us.
Coach, let's talk first of all about special teams. A lot of time early in the season, special teams is still a work in progress, but we've talked about this a lot today with all 3 of the coaches that we've talked with so far. But your special teams were so big in this game. Do you really work on special teams a lot during practices? Oh,
yes, sir, absolutely. Every single day, Monday through Thursday, and it's a key component to us, and we really try to focus in on some of the little things. And that's just a testament to the kids, too, going all out. We had some issues earlier in the season. We still got some issues that we still need to clean up, but the effort is where we needed it at.
Let's talk about the quarterback situation. Sherrod Sidbury was suspended for this game. You had to go with your backup quarterback. Your overall thoughts on how his performance was in a game where he had to step up?
Yeah, well, we ended up starting out with Billingsley at quarterback and doing some things with him before we brought him in. He came in and we turned the ball over initially, but I just liked the fight that he had at the end of it. He didn't let it get him down. He stayed focused in, and he just kind of brushed it off, which is what you need from a quarterback. He has to have a short-term memory, and that's exactly what we got out of him. And he came and drove us down and helped us put some more points on the board.
Defense, you got to be happy with the performance. You controlled the line of scrimmage. You had great pursuit. Had the turnovers that the defense provided for you. Again, Bucks defense looking good.
Yes, sir. And again, we still got some work to do in our front 7 and then even on the back end. But it's a great start. You know what I mean? Just like you said in the beginning, going 1-0 in the conference. That's a big boost in confidence, and then getting a shutout. But we got a tough test coming up this week, so we'll see how that all works out.
Absolutely. You're 3-2 overall now, 1-0 in the Mid-Eastern, but it's going to start early into that crosstown rival battle with having to go on the road here in Game 2 of the conference schedule and taking on the Hoggard Vikings, who are undefeated. So what does Hoggard have that you're really going to have to work on to get ready for them?
Well, they're a very, very well coached team. You know, they're doing really well in all three phases of the game. Offensively, they do a great job up front, blocking and creating some holes, just like Coach said, for the running backs. And that quarterback they have is second to none. He's doing a great job, so it's a challenge to stop him and some of his receivers. And then even special teams-wise, they're doing some great things there with field position. And then defensively, they just swarm to the ball, and they're very physical and tough. And it's just exciting, man. You know, just like you said, it's a rivalry game or whatever, but at the end of the day, it's going to come down to execution, and we'll see what happens on Friday night.
Well, Coach, congratulations on your 50-0 win over North Brunswick. Good luck against the Hoggard Vikings. And again, another win for the Laney Buccaneers, moving to 3-2 overall and 1-0 in the conference. Again, thank you, Heshad Yeoman, for being with us here on the Sports Roundtable. We'll have more right after this. This is the Sports Roundtable. I'm Tom Lamont, your host, and we continue our discussion on high school football, week 1 of the Mideastern Conference play. And joining us now is Jeff Turner, the head coach of the Screaming Eagles at Ashley High School. And Coach, wow, what a defensive battle. Unfortunately, the Screaming Eagles come out on the losing end, but 7-0 to West Brunswick. But defense was the key to this game.
Yeah, it was, you know, we wish we would have let them score that one. We had one miscue, and that, you know, cost us them to get a touchdown. And then very disappointed in the offensive side. I thought special teams did a really good job. We had 2 return punts brought back to the red zone of theirs, and they were called back. Didn't see any blocking in the back on it, but it was unfortunate, and just it was tough to see our offense struggle like that. I think you know, challenging, because I don't think last week we did a good enough job with our offensive coaches and the players, and so they need to pick it up right now, and I'll be there right with them.
Very good, Coach. You got a lot of highlights to look at tonight.
Not many.
Let's take a look.
A lot of defensive ones.
Yeah, lots of defense, and we'll talk about your offense as well.
Yeah, I did a good job, guys. Guys played hard. You know, we missed one miscue, but you know, again, you know, all 3 phases of the game. We can't, you know, play good defensively, good special teams, and not show up offensively. So I was so disappointed. Good return by Jaheim Marshall right here. Again, we had good field position, just did not capitalize. Defense was basically, you know, played discipline besides one play, and that cost us on. A little, there's a sack here, get them scrambling, and good hustle and grab right here. You know, again, 7-0 game is hard, and good pursuit here by guys coming up, hitting behind the line of scrimmage. Sort of did a lot of that this game. Got a couple reels here. I think Freddie Thames, Jaheim Marshall's back there. And Freddie, a little counter, sort of cuts it back. Gets about 7 yards off that. I just wish we would have had more. We were down at the 17 yard. Here's Jaheim Marshall, sort of a QB run out here. Get the first down. He's a tough kid. He's only a 10th grader. Jaheim again. Little screen pass to Freddie Thames. Put it out there. And we moved it down to about the 17-yard line right before the half, ran out of time and just couldn't punch it in there. Jaheim sort of struggling and makes nothing out of something. Something out of nothing, excuse me. That line sort of heads up the sideline. Good job by Connor Lewis filling that alley. Connor played a good game.
Good pursuit there.
Yep. You know, defense, they're you know, taking control on the line of scrimmage. There was a lot of that. You know, Freddie Thames on a little outside zone.
We ended up with about 42 yards rushing for you.
Probably, yeah. But you know, it was very, very tough, and it's you know, a process that is a true process with coaches and players, and I, you know, give credit where credit's due, and talk about the things that need to be. And our coaches did not do a good job on the offensive side. I was very disappointed. Now, they know that, and that's the way, I was very disappointed. We got some, this is a return that was called back again on a phantom call, which I still can't find it on the film. I know nobody talks about the refs, and sometimes you have to. I thought this crew was very unprofessional, and it's, when you start to do things in the game that are making up rules, it's a problem. So I was very disappointed with some of the things that were told to me during the game that were rules that are not rules. So that was disappointing too, because I think we're ruining the game. So knocked loose. We've been averaging turnovers on defense. We didn't seem to have one this game that sort of propelled us a little bit and got us a score.
Yeah, it looks like your defense definitely lined up with them, control the line of scrimmage, great pursuit. Defensively, again, a great effort for the Screaming Eagles. And Coach, as you look at it, I mean, obviously you're disappointed with the effort, but you had no first downs in the second half offensively, and it just execution. Was it just not running on all cylinders, or just not communicating, or what do you have to do with the offense to get it going?
It's not just one thing. It's a total effort with coaches, execution, game plan, strategy, and I just think that there were. I think the strategy was sort of was not a good strategy. For the five-man front, and I thought we had that, and I think the coaches need to step up. I think some of it was we had a tough time on the O-line. We didn't get our blocks, and whether that's due to teaching them the right thing or not. Again, be quite honest with you, I am one person. I'm all over the place as much as I can. So we try to clean up everything, and we have to tell the coaches in our coaches meeting, let's look at ourselves, see if we're doing the right thing over there. So that's what we're going to focus on this week, is fixing that and getting those guys to execute a little better.
Well, the Screaming Eagles fall to 2-3, 0-1 in the conference, but the good thing is you can come right back and get right back into it Friday night, and your next opponent is on the road at South Brunswick. What does South Brunswick bring to the table that you're going to really have to work on to get ready for them?
I'll tell you, I'm impressed. I was watching film, and they've gotten a lot better. They're starting to, their offense is diversified. They're throwing, they're running some power. They do a lot of good things, and they've done a good job coaching them over there. I was impressed with their wins that they've had. So we just need to get back to the drawing board. We haven't had a home game in the whole month of September. So we need to go and take care of business, and it's going to be a struggle because nothing's easy for us right now. And then get back home. And, you deal with a ton of adversity, and talk to the kids, well, you got to pick yourself up. But there comes a time where we got to stop the adversity, and let's go ahead and be happy and get a win. So it'll be a challenge for us. Every game is a challenge for us. But hopefully we'll take care of business. Do a good job this week.
All right, well, Coach, good luck against South Brunswick. Again, the head coach of the Ashley Screaming Eagles, Jeff Turner. His team loses a tough defensive battle to West Brunswick on Friday night, 7-0. But looking forward to getting back in the win column against South Brunswick this week. Well, you're watching the Sports Roundtable. I'm Tom Lamont, your host. We thank you for watching. We ask you to go out and support New Hanover County Schools, whether that's athletics or any other activities that the schools do. But Friday night's a great place to be. Go out and support your local high school football team. Till next week on the Sports Roundtable, I'm Tom Lamont.